So I went to the local exhaust place and purchased a couple of mufflers and got them to bend some pipes up for me. And in this video, I'll attempt to make my own exhaust system. Well, the first thing to do was put the ute on the hoist, and I set up the mufflers and some pipe work on the jack on top of the hoist itself to see if I could get that angle right to the chassis. And lo and behold, it wasn't 90 degrees. So I had to go back to the exhaust place and get them to bend up the pipe just that little bit more. Now with the pipe coming down off the header, all I needed to do was put a kick on it to get around that starter motor and the oil filter and direct it towards the diff. Now once that was all tacked together, it was time to move on to the pipes that run to the mufflers. And you can see here I've made a little contraption out of a little bit of off-cut pipe and a couple of U-clamps just to hold it all straight. So once the long pipe was in the right position, it was time to hang the mufflers. Well, this opened a can of worms because I didn't have any provisions to actually hang mufflers. So I came up with an idea of putting the muffler strap in the center of the muffler can and bolting that to the rearmost support of the body. However, you just can't weld a muffler strap directly to the can, as it would more than likely just rip itself off. So I welded an 1/8 inch strap from end to end and then welded the strap to that. This works well and in my opinion looks fine. Right, this is all tacked together and I can remove it from the ute in one piece. I put it on the bench and TIG welded all the joins, deciding just to weld the mufflers directly to the pipe. Yeah, I could have put a flange between the pipe and the muffler, but I didn't. But I did put a flange at the back of the muffler. This way it makes it easier to install the pipe over the diff. I made the 2 pipes over the diff, and this is where I stopped for a while. I don't have the fuel tank right now, and I'm not real sure how the tailpipes will exit. When I get the fuel tank installed, I'll finish the rest of the pipes. They might go under the tank, around it, or come out the sides behind the rear wheels. But it does look real cool just dumping behind the diff. So I've got the Chevy back on the hoist again, and today what I'm going to do is make a crossover. It's going to go from here, through here, and over to the other side. So here we have the crossover that we've done, and I've just dummied it up for the moment. What I do have to do is drill a hole in this pipe, pretty much the inside diameter of the pipe we have here. So I'm just going around at the moment, I'm marking it here, and marking it exactly where I want to put it back. I'm going to take the pipes back out again, drill them like I said, and try and weld these up on the floor. So what I have here is the pipe put into a vise here and some wood here, and we're going to run a hole saw directly through that hole there. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's a little too hot to paint, I think.
Well, check this out. I've got it all done. Got that H pipe on, and I even put a coat of paint on it. That's looking awesome. Oh, hits his head. Oh yeah, I didn't do this bit here. You know why? I'm still waiting for the tank to come back, and I'll finish that off a little bit later. But for now, this part's all done. Well, the tank has come back after being repaired. It had a couple of pinholes in it. And I've installed it in the chassis here, and it's time to do the rear tailpipes. So here I am playing around with these tailpipes again, and just cut up a few bends and taped them all together for the moment. They seem to be sitting there all right. I just come up and around this fuel tank here, come around here, and come over the other side of the spring. As you can see there, I've put the wheels off my Camaro on. They're a little bit bigger than what I've had sitting on. I'm not going to run these, but it gives me an indication of an 8-inch foot on the back. So I'm off to the muffler place to go get some stuff. So I've come back and I've got a couple of flanges there. And I've welded this top one onto that part there. But haven't on this one. So I'm going to get my angle right here first. I'm just going to move that until I'm happy with it, mark it, and take it all back off again and TIG weld it up from the inside. Okay, so there's the second side kind of mocked up. Another flange here. And this is what I've done on this side. I've yet got to come out and around the spring there. Right, so I've got all this TIGged up. I stayed up late last night and TIGged this all up, TIGged that up down the bottom there, or at the flange there. And I now need to mount it. I mean, that's just on a little bit loose, but still, I need to mount it. And my plan is to use a rubber isolator here. I'm going to drill a hole up in here in the chassis, put a bracket on the very edge here with this. I'll cut this down and put it up in through here. Put a rubber isolator up in here, and that'll hold that into that tailpipe. And there's that hole drilled in the chassis there. I'll just clean it out a little bit there. Make sure I get that swarf, or it's not really swarf I guess, but there's a bit stuck right at the top. When you drill it, you get that going on. Anyway, I'll clean this out and I'll be ready to put the isolator on. So with the tailpipe bolted back up again and that isolator sitting up in here, you can see how that's going to work. So I'll mark it here, I'll cut this bracket here, mark where I'm going to put it onto this, take it all apart again and weld this directly to the pipe. So there's that bracket cut down, easy peasy. Okay, so I've bolted this all up and I've put some gaskets in as well. I know they're only 40 thou there, but just to make sure everything lined up, and everything does line up. Here I come around this corner, there you have it, all welded on, all done up, all good. And there's a shot from this angle. You can't even see that rubber mount there. Well, you can, it's right there. But when you're looking from the side, you won't even really notice that exhaust anyway, because by the time you put the wheel back in and this guard here, it's kind of hidden. But just so you know, it sort of just comes down. It won't hit anything here. And the exhaust will be, or the exhaust fumes will be directed just under that guard there. But I can't stop now, because I've got to get this side done as well. Well, there you go. The other side's done as well. I'll take it all off again and I'll TIG it all up properly. And with the magic of time, this side's all TIGged up as well. Done that bracket there, and it's time to take it all off again and give it a coat of paint. Well, the weather's been quite cold lately, but today's a nice day, so I can get a little bit of paint on this. And another coat of colour, and it should be done. Well, will you look here, all painted up, bolted up. Oh man, that's looking great. And there we have the other side as well, all painted up, bolted on. Now it's staying on. You know, I really liked it as it come up over the top here and sort of stopped, but I'm really digging this as well. Well, that's another job to cross off the list, and hopefully I'll see all you guys next time. See yous!